Hi, I'm John McIntyre. Welcome to Aqaba, a place to relax, soak up the year-round tropical sunshine, or as in my case, the chance to enjoy the luxury of gorgeous, uncrowded dive sites. And the key word here is uncrowded. Aqaba is where the Red Sea starts, and the great thing about Jordan is that it offers the best of both worlds, above and below the surface. Aqaba's fringing reef system is bursting with life and colour, from the dazzling Red Sea favourites, such as the almost fluorescent golden anthias, to the spectacular resident predators like this flamboyant lionfish. Jordan prides itself on keeping the marine environment in tip-top condition, so almost all the dive sites fall within the protection of the Aqaba Marine Park. With more than 20 excellent dive sites, Aqaba is more like a giant aquarium, with good year-round visibility, easy diving for all levels, and bountiful opportunities for photographers. There's also a compelling selection of wrecks to enjoy. A scuttled American tank has become synonymous with Jordanian diving. As the name suggests, the Cedar Pride, of course, takes pride of place. And then there's the more challenging, deeper wreck of a Korean barge. More on these three fascinating dives later. Aqaba's desert coastline is the gateway to the Red Sea. Away from the hustle and bustle of the big resort destinations, this is an ideal place to learn to dive. Almost all the dive sites are accessible from land. Along the 27 kilometres of Jordanian coastline, the beach gives way to white sandy channels, punctuating the reefs right on your doorstep. Aqaba is especially good for pictures. Whether you're a videographer or a stills photographer, the dive sites are excellent for getting great results. That's because you can spend ages and ages getting close to really unusual animals, like frogfish for example, day and night. Even the underwater photographers' favourites, like the clown anemone, seem to be bigger and brighter. They're also easy to approach. Pictures of clownfish are still among the highest selling underwater subjects anywhere in the world. Small, densely populated pinnacles surrounded by gently sloping sandy seabed make photography much easier. Here the hazards of flapping fins breaking delicate corals are far fewer. Lurking among the nooks and crannies are some of the most difficult creatures to spot. Scorpionfish and stonefish are seen frequently by divers in Aqaba. Jordan really does have the good, the bad and the ugly when it comes to the rare and unusual. One critter that's not so easy to find in the Red Sea is the strange-looking frogfish. But here in Aqaba, the local terrain seems to have attracted more than its fair share of these tropical oddballs. Even so, finding a cherry red painted frogfish to photograph is a real treat. This strange little character is one of a number of frogfish dotted around the reefs of Aqaba, the perfect subject. But here's an even bigger version who's got nothing better to do than sit around all day perched on a small coral clump, hoping for a tasty morsel to swim past. These bizarre mottled fish are deceptively efficient predators. They can extend their mouths to swallow fairly large fish, and they can do so in the blink of an eye. Nighttime in Aqaba is equally rewarding. It's a time for the hunters to dart around looking for prey, or use their camouflage to good effect. Watch how this small cuttlefish turns as white as the sand before jetting off into the night. Nighttime photography is excellent for macro work, and in the shallow reefs of Aqaba, the small stuff is just as interesting, like this tiny spider crab. Photographers really are spoilt for choice, but if you know where to look, there are some rare treats in store for the discerning diver. This is a toadfish, an ugly brute of a bottom dweller that grows to around 35 centimetres and lurks out of sight, often hidden under rocks. The picture is a real bonus for any diver's collection. This small corner of the Red Sea seems to have more than its share of weird and wonderful creatures. A delightful hermit crab makes another excellent subject. This green speckled moray is one of the many varieties you'll see around Aqaba's reefs. Lionfish, of course, always seem happy to pose for the camera. At night, it's also worth keeping a beady eye open for the more exotic species, like this beautiful red Spanish dancer. Just one of the many colourful nudibranchs to be found in the Gulf of Aqaba. And what better way to end a dive than to catch up with a lively nighttime prowler in the form of a small Red Sea octopus. If it's wrecks you're after, Aqaba boasts an impressive trio to suit all levels of diving. There's an American M40 tank in just 6 metres, the well-known cargo ship Cedar Pride, which is an excellent dive site. And for the techies among you, how about a large Korean crane which bottoms out at nearly 60 metres? 3 very, very different dives. Despite the fact that this American M40 anti-aircraft tank has only been in the water since 1999, it's almost become the visual symbol of diving in Aqaba. It's certainly different. It rests in just 6 metres, easily diveable from the shore. Since being sunk by the Jordanian Royal Ecological Diving Society, it's become home to a number of feisty characters. Small grey peppered morays are regularly seen. Once the armoury of the Jordanian military, the tank now hosts its own impressive guard in the form of weary-eyed lionfish. The tank has certainly become one of the must-do dives. As the gateway to the Red Sea, Aqaba's coastline is world-renowned as a commercial and tourist destination. Just a short distance from the site of the tank, divers prepare for one of the most popular wreck attractions in the region. This is the Cedar Pride, located where else but Shipwreck Bay. The giant frame of this Lebanese-registered cargo ship rests on her port side, nudging at around the 28-metre mark. Cedar Pride soon became one of Aqaba's biggest diving attractions after she was sunk in 1985, a matter of 150 metres from the shore. As an artificial reef project, she's been a huge success. Not only has the wreck attracted a healthy smothering of corals and fish life, easy access in and around the Cedar Pride has made her an extremely safe dive site. She's perched almost equally on 2 reef tops, so almost every inch of Aqaba's best wreck dive is worth exploring. For the more ambitious techie divers, there's a deep wreck called the Taeyong, which has become something of a specialist attraction for some of the local dive operators.
She's lying in 55 meters and the top of it's about 35. We're going to go down the shot line, right? Okay, that's near the wreck. When we've swum around the wreck at the maximum depth of 55, we'll follow the reef up and we'll come to the mooring at the Japanese Gardens, where we'll finish our decompression and come back to the boat.
Of course, technical diving's really taking off in the Red Sea, so I suppose you've got a new added attraction here for those people who want to do deep diving.
Oh yes, it's one of the little highlights of the technical diving. I'm running the courses, and it's like the highlight at the end of the course.
At her deepest, the large crane section of this Korean barge lies sprawled out on the sloping seabed. The maze of metal cross supports makes the Taeyong interesting photographically, very different from your normal wreck dive. The lack of any strong currents makes for relatively easy navigation of the wreck, but make no mistake, this is still a challenging dive. Even at her shallowest, the Taeyong levels out at 37 meters, so it doesn't take long to rattle up a fair old decompression time. Technical divers found out that the Taeyong had been a working barge in the port of Aqaba for more than 20 years. But after she became uneconomical to repair, she was scuttled around the turn of the century. Dive operators who discovered the Taeyong in 2004 feel she adds an adventurous dimension to Aqaba's world of scuba. Our next dive site is as pretty as a picture. It's a trio of coral pinnacles called Gorgonone. So why is this place so special? Well, it's stuffed full of marine life, heaving with lionfish, perhaps the odd turtle, and if we're really lucky, a very large stonefish which supposedly lives on the top of one of these pinnacles. Find your way to the central pinnacle and you'll find an intense concentration of fish life vying for survival. At the foot of this sizable coral outcrop, the lionfish is king. Dozens of these oriental-looking predators bide their time, while their potential victims school in large numbers for protection. Golden antheas swarm over the rest of the pinnacle in characteristic vibrant fashion. Occupying the place of the wise old man of Gorgonone is this well-disguised but deadly stonefish resting on top of the reef. Aqaba's National Marine Park prides itself on revealing another thriving dimension of one of the world's top diving destinations, whether you're a novice or a connoisseur of the wonders of the Red Sea.